So, okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to go where I started off when I first heard this. Isn't that a little overkill? Why? Why do you need to do that? Why do you need to filter it 3 times? What does this do? Tell me. I mean, I'll teach me as an ignorant person.
Well, how many times have you heard Flint, Michigan, and the problems that was in the water there?
Yeah.
But what about the water's stuff that you don't see, you don't taste? Fluoride. You don't taste fluoride. Fluoride is a neurotoxin. Hitler used to put it in the water in Berlin as they were losing the war to keep people docile so they wouldn't revolt against him.
Okay, that has to be somewhere I can prove that, yes?
Yeah, you just have to read history.
Okay, so guys, for this, I'm going to include some links because I know this is an outside the box series, which I actually get really excited about because what I've gone through with my family, not on the dental side, on the health side, I've learned that Western medicine doesn't always have the answers, and a lot of times it doesn't. That's what drew me into a lot of the alternative side of things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat the viewer, you, as though I was when I first started down this journey. Very skeptical, as you guys know. I'm a little jaded in some areas. So I'm going to do some research, and I'm going to include all these links down in the description. But I really want you guys to understand there is a lot more we don't know than we do, especially as patients. So that cueing in fluoride, why? Why is it like the ultimate end all for all of the toothpastes, and they talk about putting it in water and how that helps? Why? If it's bad, why do they put it in?
You want me to start from the beginning at the Manhattan Project?
Let's start, tell me, educate me.
Manhattan Project was the development of the nuclear bomb back with FDR for World War II to try to end the war quickly. And the fact is that 2 bombs were dropped on Japan, really a lot of casualties, obviously, but saved millions of American lives. They didn't have to go in and try to invade a nation, a very proud nation. And so what happened was you needed fluoride to develop the plutonium and process it so it would become a nuclear weapon. And the area it was developed in was DuPont, New Jersey. And they were seeing animals with 5 legs, and different crops were all dying. The nails in the workers' shoes were dissolving. And nobody was to know about this. You know, they figured out putting rubber boots on over your shoes would help. But a lot of people got sick, and nobody really knew. And the problem is, fluoride is an end product. It's one of the basic elements, and it's highly toxic. In fact, it was used in mouse poisoning, rat poisoning, because it killed the product. But to the human being, it's a very slow process. And if you look at fluoridosis of the teeth, those teeth break down really bad. It's destructive. It discolors your teeth, and just isn't something that you really want. Also collects in your pineal gland. Pineal gland in the center of your head next to your pituitary. That is your rhythm gland. That gives you women their period. It gives men, I think, have something similar to it, even though it's not as obvious, and your ability to sleep. And it solidifies. We don't have a way to get rid of it in our body. Broken hips. CDC has study after study showing that if you have a higher concentration of fluoride, you have generally a higher correlation of broken hips.
Osteoporosis.
That's part of it. That is part of it. It stops enzymes in your body from working, and it's a neurological poison.
So how did we get from the Manhattan Project?
Okay, from the Manhattan Project, they had all this extra fluoride left over. How do you get rid of it? Well, if you go out west, there's natural fluorine in the water. Not fluoride, but fluorine. The product that they put in the water, hydroxylic acid, fluoric acid, is a poison. But if you put it in low enough dosages, they said, oh, well, fluorine, that's the same as fluorine. It's going to stop cavities, because these people didn't get cavities. They got discoloration, but they didn't get cavities. And if you look at David Kennedy's work, he's a dentist who has been all over the world campaigning against the use of fluoride. He had the pleasure of going to China, and there was one province in China that was full of fluoride. And they had the people that were so bent over at age 25 they couldn't stand up straight. And he showed them how to filter their water from the fluoride. He has whole documentation on that. And so the fluoride had to get rid of. Now, if you dispose of it, which is very difficult to do, where are you going to dispose it? What are you going to do with the stuff? But if it's a health promoter and we're going to stop cavities, we fluoridated the city of Chicago, the home of the ADA, for 70 plus years. And you know what? Kids still have cavities in Chicago. Doesn't seem very, very effective now, does it? So we have a habit in this country.
Yeah.
Follow the dollar, number one. If you look at your water boards, there's always somebody representing the fluoride industry on that board, influencing it, putting the people in the right position to keep it going. And the truth shall never be known.
Okay, how did the ADA get on board with it? You know, you got all this in toothpastes and, you know, I mean, I was at a health food stores back when I lived in Arizona. I went in for, it was for like a St. John's wort supplement, but I was talking to the lady behind the counter and I saw this toothpaste and I picked it up and I was like, $10 for toothpaste? You gotta be kidding me. She goes, well, it's got all these, you know, it's got tea tree oil and blah, blah, blah. She goes, and it's fluoride free. I said, well, doesn't that mean that I will get more cavities? And she goes, no, wait a second, you don't understand. She goes, when's the last time you looked at the back of a toothpaste bottle? And I said, okay. She goes, it has a warning on there. You understand that, right? And I said, what do you mean a warning on there? She goes, go look at it. And that's what I did. I went home and I looked at it and it basically said it's harmful to ingest it. And yet this is toothpaste you're putting in your mouth.
And our kids get toothpaste that tastes like bubble gum. Now, are they going to spit that out or are they going to swallow that?
Right.
And there have been kids that have died, product liability. There have been cases that have settled for hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm sorry, you can't give me enough money to pay for the life of my child.
Right, right.
It doesn't work that way.
Right.
And fluoride is, they at least passed that. But what was on that box? The seal of approval by the American Dental Association. Who supports the American Dental Association? Well, if the American Dental Association supports your product, it sells. People will say, is this ADA approved? It's almost like saying, is it FDA approved?
Almost.
And unfortunately, I can't tell you the acronym that I use for FDA. There may be a family listening. But it's sad.